Today, I'm going to be giving each character on the Marvel Rivals roster another skin. Now, most of these skins are going to be comic based, but some of them can be from games or things like that. First up, we got Adam Warlock. Now, honestly, he hasn't had that many variations throughout the comics, so I'm just going to go ahead and give him his basic classic look that he most commonly has throughout the comics. I feel like if you're going to have Adam Warlock in the game, you're going to have to eventually add this as a skin someday, because what else are you going to add? All right, next up, we got Black Panther. Now, hear me out here. I know a lot of y'all hate Fortnite, but the Fortnite Black Panther, I feel like with the vibranium and the purple, with the cape, it looks pretty fire. So y'all got to just hear me out here. I feel like if they added that as a collaboration with Fortnite, it is possible that we could actually get the Fortnite version of Black Panther in the game. It does look good, even though it's Fortnite. Next up, we got a skin for Black Widow. Honestly, y'all might not know what this is, but the 3099 skin from Marvel Future Fight, I feel like is a pretty fire skin all around. It looks great, and I feel like it would be a good match for this game. Most of the other Black Widow skins, people are going to probably suggest like the classic Black Widow, which is cool, but we're eventually going to need some more unique skins, so I feel like 3099 Black Widow would be pretty fire. Next up, we got Hulk. Now, people are probably expecting me to say like the Joe Fix-It with the suit and the hat, which is a cool skin. I feel like that would be great, but I'm going to be more unique and say that the Fear Itself Hulk is definitely a skin that we need. This just looks fire. I feel like it would be perfect for the game. He wouldn't have his hammer, of course, but I still think it would be pretty cool. All right, next up, we got Captain America. Now, I was going to say his Infinity War outfit, but he already got that in the game. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and say his Hydra outfit with the green. I feel like that would fit Captain America pretty well, and would be a pretty good skin. Now we got Cloak and Dagger. Honestly, they haven't had too many variations in the comics, like at all. All they really had is just like the black and white look. But honestly, they could get the Mr. Negative one where Cloak has like light powers and Dagger has like darkness or something. I feel like that would be pretty cool. Pretty cool concept to see. Next up, we got Doctor Strange. Now, I was going to say, I forgot what this was called, but whatever this is, I feel like that would be a cool skin to have, but it just doesn't look like Doctor Strange at all. So I don't know, people might get confused. So you could just do his classic MCU look if that's not going to work, but either way works for me. All right, and for Groot, I was going to go with his Secret Wars look. It's basically just a combination of him and Thor, but honestly, I just wasn't the biggest fan of the way that he just wouldn't be able to use the hammer, which is the whole point of it existing. So I would go, I forgot what this was called too. Whatever this is would be a great Groot skin as well. For Hawkeye, I say we give him his Ronin look from the MCU. Honestly, people are probably going to be like, hey, but Ronin can be his own character. Bro, you know how many Marvel characters there are? Ronin's not getting a slot before any major character. If he's getting in the game, he's not getting in the game for at least the next, like, decade. So, this could be a cool skin for Hawkeye, I feel. As for Hela, I understand that her helmet is basically like, her helmet to her is like Thor's hammer is to him. Like, she needs her helmet to be able to use her abilities, supposedly, but Odin would tell her, are you the god of helmets or are you the god of death? She'd probably end up being able to use her power without the helmet. So can we just get a skin without the helmet, like from Thor Ragnarok? I feel like that would be a great skin for her. Now, I know a lot of people were complaining about the Mala skin for Invisible Woman, but I really just did genuine research and I could not find any other major like skin that she could have possibly had. So y'all just need to calm down. But I feel like all the Fantastic Four could probably get like a Future Foundation skin with the white suit. They don't really have any major like differences. Most of them, they usually have just like one major difference in like one variation and then nothing else. So just the Future Foundation would be great. Now there's only one possible Iron Fist skin that we can get, and it's the classic Iron Fist comic look. Now people are probably going to be like, dude, the Iron Fist in the game isn't the same Iron Fist that wears that outfit. I don't care, bro. You really think we're about to get another Iron Fist character? Like, they're going to be exactly the same. Just give him this skin, make it like a legendary, and make his attacks yellow or something, so it can be like the actual Iron Fist. Next up, we got Iron Man. Honestly, I'm going to have to go with another Marvel Future Fight skin. Even though Iron Man has like thousands of suits, I'm just going to go ahead and give him his 3099 Marvel Future Fight option. I know he has so many other suits, but if y'all don't think this is tough, something wrong with you. This looks amazing. Honestly, I would love to see this in the game. They already have collabed with Marvel Future Fight before, so it's possible to actually get this. Next up, we got Jeff. The only major variation he's ever really had was when he turned into like a symbiote. So I feel like that's the only skin that he could possibly get that's would actually interest me. Now for Loki, I was going to say President Loki could be a good skin that he could get, but that was already leaked and it was actually in the beta of the game. So I feel like he could get, the way he looked in Thor the Dark World was pretty fire. So I feel like he could get that as a skin. Just no helmet. I feel like he just needs at least one skin without the big, massive horns. Next up, we got Luna Snow. Now, she's originally from Marvel Future Fight. I know I've said like a lot of Marvel Future Fight skins already, but she's actually from that game. Like that's where she was actually created. So I feel like she could get her Lifestyle Series #1 outfit that she had in that game. Feel like it's her best looking one. And it's kind of casual. And I feel like it would be nice to see her with like longer hair or something. Now with Magic, I have to give her a skin. Like I just have to give her a skin that matches her face. Cause I'm sick and tired of running a blue and white knight. And then I just sit there with yellow effects. So I'm going to go ahead and give her Phoenix 5 skin. Or her Phoenix 5 outfit or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to give her that. It's fire. It matches. It looks great. End of discussion. Next up, we got Magneto. Now, his black and white outfit was seen in a lot of comics, but the main one I would be adding is the one from the Trial of Magneto or whatever it's called, where he has this trench coat on top of the black and white. It's just fire. It would have a flowing cape in the game like he already does, and it would match perfectly. It's just fire. I feel like that perfect addition to the game. Next up, we got Mantis. I don't even know how she got into the game before characters like Ant-Man or, I don't know, Thanos, but she's in the game. And she doesn't really have that many comic variations besides just this one. I mean, I looked. I don't know what this is called, but I looked and I couldn't find anything that looked good. She looks stupid in most of the comics. So this is really the only thing I could give her. Next up, we got Mr. Fantastic. Now, I could be basic and just give him another Future Foundation, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give him whatever this is. I forgot the name of it. They already made the maker for him, so there's not really any other skin that I'd use over the maker for Mr. Fantastic. But if they were going to give him another skin, I guess they could give him this one. Next up, we got Moon Knight. Now, they already got the MCU Moon Knight in the files for the game. I don't know why they don't release it. They just refuse to release it. So can we get the Vengeance of the Moon Knight, his new comic look? I feel like this looks amazing with the glowing white on there. It would look amazing. I mean, it would kind of expose the Moon Knights that sit up in the rooftops and hide from everybody, but I feel like it would be pretty cool to have in the game. Next up, we got Nahor. Fun fact for everybody that mains this bum. Did you know that Namor actually came out before Aquaman and like nobody knew who he was until Black Panther came out? That's amazing. Like nearly nobody knew. If you weren't reading the comics, you didn't know who this bum was. But yeah, he can go ahead and get his Phoenix 5. Next up, we got Penny Parker. Now, honestly, I do not care about this character at all. I guess she can get her Spider-Verse. I don't even know how they would add that into the game, but what other variations does she even have? Who cares about Penny Parker at all? Just give her how did she even get into the game? Next up, we got Psylocke. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and give her whatever this is. I keep forgetting the names of all these variations because I saved these pictures a while ago, but she can just get whatever this is called. I feel like she needs more superhero-like outfits in the game. Next up, we got Rocket Raccoon. I'm just going to go ahead and give him this variation where he has like this suit on and this hat. I know he already has a skin where he has a hat and a suit on, but I don't care about Rocket Raccoon, honestly, in the comics. He kind of looks goofy in most of the comics. He's funny in the MCU, but in the comics, he just kind of looks ugly. So next up, we got the Scarlet Witch. I'm going to go ahead and give her most recent look from the Scarlet Witch comics. I feel like it would be pretty cool to see like a galaxy style, like a galaxy skin effect and Marvel Rivals on some skins. Definitely feel like it would be pretty cool to see, considering most of Scarlet Witch appearances just look exactly the same. Now, Spider-Man has a lot of variations in the comics, but I'm going to go with his Spider-Man Noir, however you say that word, from the Spider-Verse movie. I feel like this was my favorite Spider-Man by far, so I definitely could see me rocking this skin in the game. It's pretty fire in my opinion. Next up, we got Squirrel Girl. Now, honestly, the base design that she has in Marvel Rivals is the best Squirrel Girl has ever looked in any comic. So I'm not even going to be using any comic variation that she's had because she's so hideous in every single one. I mean, look at her first appearance. She looks like a monster. So I'm going to give her another Marvel Future Fight skin from April Fools, whatever this is called, the Nutty Titan. All right, next up, we got Star-Lord. I'm going to go ahead and give him his 1872 Wild Western look or whatever it was called. I feel like he would just look amazing with that in the game. I can't really think of anything else he'd possibly have. Next up, we got Storm. Now, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of whatever skin that she has in the game right now. That little rock and roll, I don't like it. I feel like the only reason people ever buy that is because it's the only skin that she has and there's no other option. And they just want to be like, yeah, I have a Storm skin. If they're going to add a skin, they should add the Hellfire Gala outfit for Storm. This is the best she's ever looked in any comic. So that's the only option they can add. Next up, we got Punisher. Now, a skin that I personally would really want to see for him is the Netflix variation where he had his trench coat and skull. I feel like it would just look really nice on his bulkier body that he has in the game, even though the one from Netflix isn't really that bulky. I mean, it's not really possible to look like this Punisher, but I definitely feel like that would be a nice skin to have. Next up, we got Thor. Now, honestly, I was going to say like his Age of Ultron or his original Avengers look, but honestly, it just looks exactly the same as that free skin that we got. So I'm going to go ahead and say that we should get his Rune King Thor style. Honestly, Thor kind of looks the exact same in most of his styles. I mean, the only times he looks different, it's not like cool enough to the point where I'd want to see it as a skin. The Rune King Thor is actually, it looks pretty cool. So I'd actually want to see that as a skin. Next up, we got Venom. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go with his King in Black look where he's black and he has the constellations and all the stars throughout his body and stuff. I mean, he wouldn't have his axe, but I still feel like it would be pretty fire to see. Now, for Winter Soldier, I didn't really see too many different variations of him. I mean, yeah, you can just say Infinity War just because it exists, but it doesn't actually look that cool. So I would go with his whatever look he had when he was like in the lab getting tested on and stuff. When he first got his abilities, I feel like that would be a pretty cool skin. Now, next up, we got Wolverine. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that we should get like a classic Wolverine skin, but honestly, I'm not with that. I feel like we should get the X-Deaths of Wolverine skin. This black and yellow, it just looks fire and it will be a perfect fit for the game. I mean, of course it would. It's just fire as peak. It's much better, in my opinion, than like a classic Wolverine with the brown and yellow. That's just my opinion, though. I know the Human Torch and the Thing aren't in the game yet, but they're about to be in the game, so I might accurately predict what skins they're going to have. Now, the Human Torch, he's probably going to have the Inhuman Torch skin. If he doesn't have that, he should. The Inhuman Torch is basically like the villainous version of the Human Torch, and going on with the trend of evil Mr. Fantastic, which is the Maker, and evil Invisible Woman, we're probably going to get evil Human Torch too. Now, for the Thing, only thing I see us getting is the Fear Itself version of him, because otherwise it's just going to be some random version of him with different color shorts. And I don't want everything skin to just be him with different color shorts, which is probably just going to be the case. But hopefully we can get the Fear Itself version of him.